Hey, how you doing, everybody out there in Twitch and or YouTube and D&D land? Holy shit, it's been a while. We're not on Twitch anymore. We don't do that shit. I hope everybody's having a fantastic day today. Before we jump into the action, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. All three of those things helps us out tremendously. If you are interested in supporting us just a little bit further, consider becoming a member on our YouTube channel. Members gain access to some really cool emotes that are of my glorious face in all four emotions of the Dungeon Master. And if you are interested in joining our community, you can go down in the link in the description below, get onto our Patreon, and be able to join us and hang out in our Discord server with everybody who plays in these games, or even join a waiting list for the games. We do have open slots in this game and in the Saturday early game. So if you are interested in any of those, reach out, let me know. Alrighty. You know, it's only fair that you've been here a week. So, Onel, give us a recap. What happened last session?
Well, after a successful handoff of the stone, Onel walked down the hall, heard a loud crash from down below, and a angry dwarf with a large hammer rolled up the stairs and started beating on some associates that I had recently made. Seeing the dwarf, I rightfully put my hands up, saying that I had no part in this deal and was going to be leaving shortly. Watching the dwarf beat the large bodyguard bodily, and then seeing a lizard folk that I had been looking for come up the stairs, I decided that I should potentially get involved. The lizard, seeing Sinclair head up the stairs to help Fordrum with Argon, forces an image into the mind of the Goliath that is surrounded by kobolds in trench coats. Corvus takes on the thugs on the main floor, knocking them out. Exception, he kills, daring to hit him. One of the thugs ignores Corvus, bludgeoning Argon, stealing his arcane focus while he is distracted. An assassin working for Gildan leaps out to attack Sinclair, where Onel threw a dagger and decided to join the fight. The assassin still managed to attack Sinclair, who encases himself in an ice-absorbing strike. Fordrum knocks the Goliath down, causing it to think the kobolds have stabbed it, and he dies to the psychic damage. The would-be assassin attempts to retreat, but underestimates the strength of Dwarven glass to a hilarious sound that we all giggled internally to as it thumped off. Onel rushed up to dispatch the assassin. Meanwhile, downstairs, Corvus and Argon finish off the thugs, letting the last one run away. Gildan had locked himself in the room upstairs, where Onel unlocked the door for the team, and they head in and discard where Gildan insinuates that the lizard folk was the one that stole the stone and not him. But Fordham tells Gildan he is the guilty party because he ordered the theft. Gildan threatens us that he has hidden the stone, and if we attack him, we will never find it. He proposes that we exchange the stone for his freedom, which the group accepts. After some deliberation, the deal is done. The group heads back to take the stone to Brightblade Jewelry Shop to work on it, or to take the stone back to the convention. As part of the deal for returning it, we're able to take a small piece for Rosaria. So we take the stone to the Brightblade shop to work on it. As Fordham plans to cut the stone, Argon discovers it has innate magical properties that can focus Dunamancy magic, but will cause any other magic cast on it to surge wildly. We discover that Trent Ikathon has captured a Kryn spy, and Argon thinks he's trying to use the captured moonstones to work on Dunamancy. Fordham attempts to cut the stone, but is more resistant than expected and cracks down the middle. The original owner is worried about the damage, so Argon volunteers to risk fixing the magic stone, setting aside a piece for Rosaria. His friend Sakura and himself, Argon, cast a spell to shape the stone back together to its original form, just slightly smaller. As predicted, the magic cast surges and Argon's fingers turn crystal clear. The stone repaired, we finally notice that Onel from the bar has entered the shop at some point and has been watching us. He introduces himself as Onel Kator L.
So, ow, I just stabbed my finger.
Don't do that.
Yeah, right?
Diabetics
Oh,
do
it's
that
barely any
every
blood.
day.
We're good.
Pro tip: finger, not for stabbing.
Yeah. Anyways, you all are sitting there inside of Fordrum's cousin's mine shop or shack. Jewelry refining room inside of his mine shaft. That's what this is.
Right.
And you have successfully pieced back together the stone where the son of the proprietor of this specific stone takes what he has and leaves. You all are left to yourselves, and your cousin will look back at you, Fordrum.
Okay.
Be sure to lock up. I'm going
Yep.
home.
Anel. Or, hi, lad. I'm Fordrum. Have we met? Saw you in the fight. I appreciate your help.
Yes. We had met momentarily.
Ah, right. Well, formally, I am Fordrum. This is Corvus, Argon, Sinclair, and Onel Kator, I think was the name.
Yes.
Well
that
met.
is the name.
Again, thank you for the help.
I had somewhat selfish reasons for that. I am strangely familiar with this one, and I point at Sinclair.
Huh. That makes one of us.
Have you been to hell too?
Or I guess that's a perspective thing, whether or not we are currently there. But
Oh,
No, we mean the literal one.
Yeah.
oh,
Actually, I think you mean the physical one.
yeah, physical one.
I think I'd use the word
What would be
literal.
the difference?
yeah. no, I
Have you ever been to Schultz?
Doesn't exist in my universe. No.
I don't even know what that is.
Doesn't exist.
One
That's
psychic
fine.
damage.
You know what? Yeah. For every reference to Faerun, you will take 1d6 psychic damage.
Oh,
We don't do
Chol.
that shit here.
Okay. Now I know what you're talking about. So, oh no, based upon what conversation you briefly had with Gideon, I'm assuming you know your way around
yes.
thefts and the acquiring of items.
He's an
I-
acquisition lizard. That's what he is.
I specialize in procurement of things that may or may not want to be procured.
How much do you know about catching someone that's in the same business?
Well, I'm fairly experienced in doing it, in the business, so
I think if there's one thing that yesterday taught us is
Dwarven glass.
that's one thing we've learned, but also I think we've learned based on certain map of my nephews that those who know are kind of helpful.
Well, we do need to track down that
The thief?
lost son of the Dust family. Could be
Yeah.
useful to have someone that knows the seedier side, because Lord knows I don't.
Fordrum, roll me a d100 to see if your nephew was around to hear that.
Oh, hell.
He randomly shows up.
Just pops up.
It's canon. He does that. Okay.
It's one of my better rolls.
Yeah, I know, right? I anticipated a 5.
Me too. Under 10 usually all the time.
Technically, there is a 5.
True.
Well, I don't know what you're doing for the next foreseeable future, but I was going to give you a time frame, but we haven't stuck to one yet, so I can't imagine doing such and being honest about it. But if you're interested, we have a debt to repay to the Dust family. It involves retrieving their stepson, who has stolen information about some of the most legendary items in this world on Wildemount, and we're to retrieve him and hopefully the pages he stole. And who knows what may or may not. From what we've gleaned, because he's been looked upon, he may have a small band of people whom he's collecting things with.
And training.
Yes.
Well, I believe our goals could align relatively simply. I have spent many years hunting for this Sinclair.
Oh,
So I am currently open as long as Sinclair is willing to share information.
when you use the word hunting for, just so we're sure, are you planning on killing him, or are we just
Not currently, no.
okay? Just checking.
And I don't know that we're saying we're opposed. We're just making sure.
I mean, it didn't stick the
We need to
first
be on the
time,
same
so
That's true.
Well, we haven't lost anybody yet to death, so there's always, something to learn.
because we look out for it,
Yeah. Exactly.
is what we tell ourselves.
It is
Uh-huh.
a good thing to look out for, especially in my industry. Well, generally, I do work with a team. We are teams of individuals, which you also seem to be. So,
It depends on whom you're talking about, but there's some of that. I feel like we're a little more intertwined than individual at times, but circumstances,
understood. But I'm definitely willing to follow for the time being. As I've stated, my needs currently are
to speak with
information
someone.
on our people.
Sure. Well, I've always found that the best talking happens while traveling. Tonight, we don't travel. Tonight, we rest. Tonight, we drink and celebrate the return of the stone, the deliverance of the amulets and things that we've done. And I got to lock up this place. So if you are welcome to come join. We've been staying at my family's house. I look down at his boots and I go, yeah, I think by tomorrow you're going to be really happy you chose to.
Just don't tell Mama your line of work,
I'm
but don't lie to her either.
a procurement specialist.
That's fair enough. She'll understand, but she won't say anything either.
Also, Argon, do you need more ink?
I do need more ink.
Okay.
Do his fingers normally do that?
No.
Oh, I need gloves too. I can't see my fingertips. I'm not going to be able to write very well with these.
What?
I'm
I'm
curious
pretty-
what it looks like when you sneeze.
I'm pretty sure we can get some gloves when we go get your ink from
We're
the
not getting gloves. I'll just make gloves.
Okay.
That'll be simple.
We can go to the imp and get you your ink.
Mm-hmm.
We lost our ability to scry with Cade taking
Oh.
off to deal with his stuff. Do we want
Yes,
to
you
see
do.
if we could find a scroll of it in town? If we could find a scroll, I can add it to my spell book and then I'll be able to do it.
Well, I know that the imp and his master should have scrolls. Don't know if they have that scroll,
Yeah, I don't know either.
but
There's
it'd be a good
chance.
place to look.
Yes, it would be.
Imp? Isn't that
You
an evil
remember.
thing?
Yeah, you remember we met
Yeah.
him.
I did?
Yes.
Huh.
When we went and picked up my ink the first time. And we made a
Oh.
huge deal for a bunch of
Oh, I
scrolls.
remember.
I
Y'all
thought I
traded
was
that pay
drinking.
item.
Yeah, you were drinking.
Oh, yeah, so I
That
was
is
paying
true.
attention. All right.
He was invisible till Sinclair outed him.
Huh.
Because only Sinclair recognized what he was.
Right.
Yep.
Yeah, I didn't pay much attention to that thing.
Alrighty. So you guys want to go meet up with the imp?
Yeah, let's go meet
Yeah.
up with the imp.
Is there any
All
Is
right.
there any straps, any like a piece of leather or something stretched on a thing that I can just take before I leave to make some gloves?
There's gloves here.
Yeah,
There's
they're
mining
not
gloves
really
all over the place.
wizard gloves. I appreciate that the gloves that would be here are gloves, but they're not.
So there would be loose bits of fabric and other things you could scavenge for. Roll me an investigation for it.
Okay.
Dwarves don't waste much
I know.
on like spare materials, you know.
17 for 16.
Not- That's pretty good for
Yeah.
you. Yeah, you find some spare cloths, wraps, and other choice things that you could probably fashion some gloves together with after traveling for a period of time.
Right.
If you can find some leather, I could assist in that.
Great.
Ooh, another crafter.
Cool. I was
Yes, a crafter.
He is a man of a craft.
so
Several, but you know.
Also, I can't wear these. Anyone want boots?
what are they made of?
A lizard. Well,
How thick is the hide of what's on those boots?
They're
Are they
magic.
like riding boots? I'll still cut them open.
they give you spider climb, and they're made from a beast from where our kind are from.
They're also not boots, they're slippers.
Yeah, slippers.
These sound perfect, unless
They require attunement, which is the reason why I can't wear them.
Do we know what they do?
Yes, spider climb.
That could be useful, especially for my particular skill set.
Could hang off ceilings and throw knives at people.
Mm-hmm. 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 It
Well,
is
if you want
entertaining.
'em.
I've done it before, but generally there's more clinging involved in it.
Yeah.
well, this would be easier. All right. So, in the short term, why don't you go ahead and hang on to them? What's 1L? Onell's? What's
Oh no, it's
Onell's?
fine. Yeah.
What's Onell's boots made out of? Are they like soft leather boots?
No boots, bare lizard feet.
Damn it. Onell, all right.
Hey, it's just like me, except I had slippers.
Yeah, I don't actually pay attention to feet. That seems
Did you use
weird.
the last of the dragon hide? Did you give it to somebody? I think
I did.
that's what I thought.
And we used it all on
We gave it to Rosaria's armor.
yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Not to mention, to be fair, Dragonhide doesn't really make good gloves. The top of the gloves, maybe, but underneath, we'd need to use a different leather.
Maybe a gauntlet, but not gloves.
We should be able to find some good pliable leather in town somewhere, I imagine.
Easily. I'm sure that there's some at the house. Mom
And in the
has leather
meantime-
at the house.
Yeah. In the meantime, Argan, you just don't see your fingers.
Okay.
That's all.
Well, I guess when I'm writing, I only have to see the pen, anyways. So
Now,
Wait,
you all travel. Yeah.
you can't like if something like if you go to scratch your eye and accidentally stab it, or I mean, if you pick your nose, can we see in without your finger getting in the way? That's going to be very strange.
so now I'm paranoid
Just-
about.
yes,
poking
I'm
myself in
stroking
the
my
eye.
face.
Just stroking the beard.
Yeah.
Yep. Alrighty. So you go over to the magic shop. Doo-doo-doo-doo-doo-doo. It is seemingly closed, same as the last time you were all here.
I knock on the door and I speak in Infernal. We're here to purchase more goods.
The door swings open, and you immediately see floating candelabras around the shop all ignite, and various different shelves have all been pushed into the corners, opening up the centralized area of this room where there is a very, very large cauldron that seems to be boiling and festering with this intense smelling liquid that looks a little viscous. And as you all walk inside, you hear from the other side of the establishment, "Ooh, welcome to the glorious Penposium."
I hate this place.
Right, me too.
It's creepy.
We need some more supplies. I need more ink again.
Also, he would like to look at your scrolls. See what you got.
Well, we ain't got anything in the ways of scrolls right now.
Mm,
And a
that's
magic shop.
unfortunate.
Oh, now, you don't see the individual they're talking to, and this place looks fucking creepy.
Are we sure this is safe?
Nope.
No.
I know his infernal name, right?
No. What? No!
Okay.
No, people don't just go around going, "Hi, here's the keys to controlling me."
We've been here before. I don't know that we necessarily know it's safe, but we at least know we can get some stuff we need here.
The master said they want the place to be spoopy for the season.
Ah,
I'm generally not in the habit of entering talking buildings.
it,
The building ain't talking. Hey, don't ruin it for me, man. Come on. It's the one thing I get to have fun with mortals. Come on.
okay.
And a floating cup goes over in front of you, Fordrum. Would you like some?
And smell it.
Roll me a survival check.
Fine.
What you get?
15.
There's alcohol in there.
Oh, I drink it.
It's a weird and thick ale, but instead of being dark and stout, it's lighter, but still viscous.
Yeah.
But it's not bad. It's a warm ale as well. Very.
I just
warm.
go, this isn't Dwarven.
Well, no shit. I made it.
And this is just a voice, right?
As far as
Right.
you can tell, yeah.
And I'm like, well, cheers, house.
Yeah. Thank
Uh,
you. And more cups, one at a time, float out to each.
I
of you.
finish it and crush my cup.
Yeah. Jesus.
There you go.
So, if any of you would like to take one of these,
I'll take it.
Right. I called it the Spider's Brew.
Does it have spiders in it?
Probably. By the taste of it.
Not spiders.
I like pretend I'm picking a leg out. Yep, probably.
There might be one or two.
I've never
spiders.
tried spider.
One
I'll
does not
take a
ask
drink.
what's in the ale. They just drink the ale.
That's the spirit. All right, so we're all out of spell scrolls. All of those were purchased and procured already. But if you are looking for more paper and ink, I think we can spare about 300 golds worth.
Ah, take it all.
All right. And anything else?
I have a feeling we're gonna have to transport somewhere. Maybe. So I want to see if they've got the chalk, 50 gold with the chalks and inks infused with precious gems for teleportation circle in case we need it.
Wait, you're looking to teleport?
Maybe.
You need the glitter chalk.
Yeah, I need the glitter chalk.
All right, we'll get you some glitter chalk then. We got it.
Perfect.
We have 100 golds, 2 sticks.
All right, well,
so 2
we'll take
castings.
both sticks just in case
Very
we
well,
need
very
it.
well. And these items are floating off of the shelves in the corners onto the table, one at a time.
Jeez.
Perfect. I'll take each one. I'll hand it I'm assuming Forge, you have the bag of holding, don't you?
No, well, no.
Or does Corvus have it?
I've got a thing that holds stuff, but it's not the official bag of holding. I think the party loot one was with Corvus, or
Corvus.
I think it was with Jasper, but
I think I'm carrying.
Yeah, it's with Corvus.
I'm carrying the smuggler's backpack. Never mind, I'm fine. I forgot I had the smuggler's backpack we picked up.
Yeah, that's a good backpack.
Because everybody else had one already, so I took the smuggler's backpack. All right, so I'll tuck everything into the bag.
Anything else?
I don't think so. Does anybody else need anything else?
not from here.
Oh, hey, that's a very judgmental tone. We collect a lot of things from many
I'm
people.
just saying my needs. I'm not. There's no judgment.
Do you happen to have any? And I tap on the bloodstone that's in my weapon. Any of these gems that have magical effects?
We do, actually. We got a box of them.
You got a box of them.
Right? Here's 2 rules. No detect magic before you approach the box. No identifying what you get in the box. You pay a flat rate and you pull a stone out of the box. What you get is what you get.
What's the flat rate?
Flat rate, 600 gold.
Well, that's an interesting game.
Fordham's just nodding, just shaking his head. No.
We call the box the loot box. We got it from all of the adventurers who die out in the wilderness who we loot.
So
That seems legit.
It's a loot box.
That's what we do, let's be honest.
So if you're charging 600 gold for a random stone,
Right.
does that mean you'd pay 400 for a known stone that we find and give to you?
Flat rate 400 for all stones. I'm in.
Okay.
If it has an enchantment in it.
Of course.
That's good to know.
We do have
So,
a couple
You
that
want to
we don't.
grab from the loot box.
We do have a couple of sockets that we aren't planning on using. We could technically trade them off.
Sockets don't get traded. That's
Well, the gem.
You trade
Yeah,
gems. Yeah,
We have the Frostwalker one, and we have the.
we can also, the bloodstone that holds the
Re-assignment.
Frostwalker augment. We could just re-augment. We could just re-magic it. We can just change it to something else.
You can do that.
I can.
Yeah. If you roll poorly one time, you still have the stone and its value.
And the stone can be redone, re-ensorcelled. Ding.
Sorry, I gotta put my
So
phone
we would
on
have
mute.
2 bloodstones that we could technically re-roll for. We would just need to find another carcass, right?
Yeah, that's all.
Okay.
Now, what in the way of information are you looking for?
Well,
Eh.
we know what the boy looks like, right? The dust boy.
He's no longer a boy. It's been 20 years. He's
Yes,
amazing.
we do.
But
Corvus knows what he looks like. Corvus saw through the
We all
scry.
saw him the first scry. He
Yep.
scryed on him twice.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so yeah, you've all seen other than
I used prestidigitation to make a image of the.
Can prestidigitation? Oh, that's minor
That's
illusion.
minor
Minor
illusion.
illusion.
Is it minor illusion?
Well, before you start,
Prestidigitation can do everything else.
before you start doing that,
Thaumaturgy doesn't work though. No.
nope, that's sound.
Wait, you create a non-magical trinket or an illusory image that can fit in your hand and that lasts until the end of your next turn. So 6 seconds, here's a little picture of him.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, he left about 20 years ago. So
Uh-huh.
about 20 years ago, and I make an image of the person. Granted, he's about 20 years younger than what he looks like here.
Well, he's a dwarf, so 20 years means next to
Yeah.
Couple of hairs.
He
Your
probably
beard
came
gets
through
this
these
much longer.
parts with some documents. Um,
How valuable these documents
We
you're
don't need to
talking about.
tell the whole story.
but he also works for a religious cult.
Ah, you need to track down this person and kill him? Is that what you're
No, God, no.
Do you need to curse him?
Track him down
You
and
need to
bag
press
him,
put it on
tag
him?
him, and bring his ass back.
Taking him home to his family.
Mama's mad that he ran off.
But by the looks of him, he seems to be a grown-ass man who can do whatever the fuck he wants. But sure, whatever you're into. If you need to go out in the world and kidnap somebody, who am I to judge you?
You don't piss off Mama.
Yeah, fair enough. Anyways, what do you need? Are you commissioning somebody to find him? Are you looking for him yourself? Do you want me to get the mistress to come in and do a scrying for you?
Can the mistress teach scrying?
For the right price?
What is that price?
Don't know. Have to ask her.
Would you mind?
Sure.
Thank you.
And in the corner of the room, there's a small poof of smoke.
Uh-huh. Now do we see this thing?
No, you just saw the smoke.
Oh. The hell
So
was
the
that?
house talks and has gas.
Right.
It does smell a little brimmy.
This is most disturbing.
Most.
That's fine.
All part of the ambiance. You get used to it.
Oh, and Sinclair, the line about you don't ask what's in the ale applies only to ale houses.
Oh,
Not to random magic shops and their
Not
invisible
random magic.
proprietors.
Fortrum, I need you to roll me a persuasion.
Persuasion?
Yep.
All right.
Going off of what she thinks of you, is what she'll charge. Dirty one.
Mm.
There's another poof of smoke in a separate corner, and you hear the voice now emanating from that corner. All right. So she said if you need to learn how to do it, she can sit you down and teach you. You'd have to be available tonight, and you have to learn immediately. The tall guy, he looks like he's smart enough to pull this off, right?
Right.
oh yeah.
Yes.
Smart, tall guy. All right, cool. And she's gonna charge you about 500 coin,
Which type of coin?
gold.
That seems fair. Especially if you get to put it in your book.
Will she do it for 4?
Sorry, her time's incredibly valuable, and that's gonna take her about 8 hours or so.
What if we don't have 500 gold? What if could we pay with 50 platinum?
50 platinum is 500 gold. That's
I
perfect.
know. I'm just saying you asked specific for gold.
Right. Any manner
Denomination?
of way you come up with
Okay.
the yeah.
I didn't
Yeah,
know.
we
You-
could have technically paid with 5,000 silver if we really wanted to.
She has one other stipulation as well. She wants a strand from your beard.
My beard?
Right, yeah.
Maybe for 400 gold, but for 500 gold, this is taking me years.
She gave me the. Can you mute yourself right now? Sorry, the dogs are very. Oh, thank you. She gave me permission to lower the price down to 450 if you would accept it.
I just look at Argon to see if he nods like it's a good deal or not.
Scry's a high level spell.
Yeah, the pricing wise, it's fine. It's up
Okay.
to you about the personal.
Kink? I just pop it out. It's not my first beard hair that I've given. Bring it on.
Right, perfect. And it just floats into the air. Perfect. And it gets placed into a clear box that has a little bit of felted fabric in it, and then a lid is placed on top of that clear box that is just glass.
Mm-hmm.
And then the box is moved onto one of the shelves.
Tell her to say hi to that person. Because I assume that she's asking for it for that stupid Roxasha guy who everybody talked about would haunt me for life, the one I killed.
You killed a Rakshasa. Get fucked. Anyways, Ogden,
Yes.
right? That was your name? Tall wizardy guy.
That would be me.
Abadi abadai. All right. Door opens up in the corner of the room. Go in there. Just you.
Okay. I will head right on in.
Don't forget all your components. And a little gift box is carried out to you that has a spider silk ribbon wrapping across it.
Ooh, fancy.
Mhm.
I will stick
Make it
that in my
festive.
bag.
There you go. And it has everything that you just purchased alongside this. So are you relinquishing the 45 platinum then?
Yep.
Okay, there you go. So, Argon, you go into the back room, and there is a single table here that has a crystal ball positioned in the middle of it. The table has long, flowing, red silks that point at four corners towards the ground. There is no seats, and the room is perfectly circular. But you walk through a rectangular door. Right now it looks circular. It's very weird, very strange. As you step in here, the door behind you closes. And from the other side of the table, a woman stands up, stretching all the way up to your height, with a human-esque face, longer limbs, long hairy eyebrows, and flowing pale blonde hair. Hello.
Hello.
I am the mistress of this establishment. She flourishes her hand, and you see little bits of sparkly magic falling off her fingertips.
Hello, mistress. I am Argon Lyceum.
Pleasure, Mr. Argon Lyceum. Just to get this out of the way, were you interested in selling me the teleportation room into the Lyceum?
No, but
Fair
I can
enough.
understand the question.
Yes, of course. One always has to
Of
ask.
course, otherwise
She
you get nowhere.
smiles, very crooked smile. So, you wish to learn how to look at people through their most private of moments
Yes.
at your leisure.
Yes, I do.
You will need an artifact to attune to this. Do you already have one?
Oh, for the scrying, is that what she means?
Yes.
I'm assuming we would have gotten that from Cade before he left.
Easy enough.
Yes, I have a piece of the blanket from when the child was first found lost.
Well, I'm not going to look upon the individual. I'm going to show you how to search.
Of course.
Please stand at my table. And her hand stretches across the room towards you to pick your hand and bring you closer. It's very trippy to see her limbs extend like that so fluidly.
Do I have any idea what she is?
Roll me a religion check.
Ooh. Do. But that's an int roll, and we know I'm terrible at int rolls. That's not bad.
16 is not high enough to know
Okay.
what this is. Definitely not human.
That part I figured out.
Definitely not a Goliath. That's
Something else on the other side of the board. Okay.
yeah. Otherworldly
Yes.
is the easiest thing you can come to grasp with. Yeah. And for the next 8 hours, she will go through the grueling process of teaching you how to commit to casting the scrying spell.
Okay.
You still have to copy it down into your own book
Yeah.
with your own
Okay.
ink and paper. But she will educate you on the intricate process of looking through the realm and knowing how to pull at an individual strand of fate in order to tie your vision to where they are.
Okay. Perfect. Just got to see how much that costs. 250.
It's a 4th level spell, 5th level
So
spell.
it's 250.
And you have 300
Yeah.
worth of ink. So
Well, I already
hey!
had 60 on me, so I have 360 right now. But
Nice.
I've got
So right now you have
I
110.
have 110. So
Dude, fucking wizards, man.
I know. That's why I never.
But
That's
hey.
why I never asked for any of the magic items because I'm going to need it all on ink.
That's fair.
Well, we
that's
did
fair.
just get 5,000 gold, so
Hey, that's the time to do it, right?
could I ask the friend here, the imp,
Sorry about that.
knows of any other contracts that Archon can make other than the eyes, the charm, and the mind?
Well, if you were like me, you could do a lot more. But you're not.
No.
Sorry. You get to have your fate tied to a different plane than I do.
Yeah.
Now, if you know somebody who's willing to sell their soul for, say, a cupcake, let me know. I'm kidding, everybody.
What kind of a
I'm
cupcake?
kidding.
What flavor?
Strawberry.
Oh, never mind.
I'm in.
Fuck you. I've made dumber decisions. Give me the cupcake, boy.
It wouldn't be the worst decision they made.
Right. Anywho, everybody, you all can leave Argon here. He needs to be here for 8 hours, so it is going to take a process.
Yeah, I figured I'd ask, see if there was a way, but there's not.
Yeah.
Now I know.
Head back to home, Fordrum.
Yeah, I have to be convinced a little bit because, you know, I'm not a leave someone behind type very easily, but after some urging, I guess we'll go back to the house.
Mama has better alcohol anyway.
Hey, fuck you. I'm trying.
Less spider, maybe.
I didn't put any spiders in there.
Well, whatever has that sort of musky smell, and maybe chill it. Just a thing.
What? Warm ale is so good.
Well, we are at an impasse.
A dwarf that doesn't like warm ale.
I mean,
Especially in this
ale.
cold environment.
No, I didn't say I didn't like anything. I'm fine with it. It just would have preferred this one to be cold. Yep, back to the house.
Alrighty. Onel, you get to meet Fordrum's chaotic family, his list of 24 cousins, his, at this point in time, very calm and evaluative father, his mother who seems to command this herd of cats with the swing of her wooden spoon and a very lively nature. While you get into his home, you are ushered over towards a table and you have to wrestle with all of the other siblings who are trying to steal the food from the table, and Mama will come over and you definitely hear her approach Fortrum. You're really getting good at adopting all these people, aren't you?
Yeah. You never know. You come across people who have a want, have a need, and he helped us figure out where a stolen stone had gone. Well, we figured out the stolen stone, but then he helped us in the fight to retrieve it.
Your creepy cousin is just staring at you from across the table.
And I point across at him and I'm like, he actually did the most help. Lad, thank you. I have a present for you.
Every single dwarf in the room stops and looks at him.
This time I grab food.
You're welcome. What's my present?
Hang on. This. I'd like to, and I hope everyone is okay with it. I'm going to give him an ice worm spike.
I'm fine with it.
You guys okay with giving one of these? And I pull out the Sky Sword Spike, and I'm like, here.
You're the eldest of all of the cousins. Looks over at you,
Uh-huh.
Fordrum. What do you mean he helped?
They absolutely helped. He detectived our way into it. Knew as soon as we found the room, and I look over at O'Neill, and I'm like, as soon as we figured out that it was missing, he knew to look up and see the missing tile. He knew to check the gate. He knew the whole path perfectly.
When you look over at O'Neill, you see him swiping food from some of the kids' hands when they're not looking.
Yep.
In this house, you gotta.
Oh, O'Neill, just so you know, house rules: you don't lie to Mama, and you don't cast magic.
Right, and no work talk in at the table while we're eating.
Oh, no,
But
not.
other than that, make yourself at home. Are we getting a lot of more lizard folk moving in here?
He's one of my kinsmen.
Oh, so he's your friend. Understood. I just thought there might be a bunch of you maybe seeking refugee like the elves did a couple generations back.
It's a bit cold for us up here.
Right, I figured.
Thanks to Mama's craftsmanship, I've been warm while I've been here.
Oh, you're such a kiss ass. And she like pinches the side of your mask. Yeah, it's like
It doesn't know where to go
at your
for.
head. Just, and your cousin just like looks across the room. I'm gonna start selling my blueprints.
No. But I think we should talk about your future, because I think that truly you have a gift. What if you helped the guard captain in resolving potential crimes? You could be a detective. You could be.
I could open up my own business.
No, well, that's one way to look at it, sure.
I could be like a knight.
Well, first,
Darker.
solve a couple. Maybe for a few years, just work the job, know the thing, learn some people, understand the flow of the business. Then, if you feel like there are people who are willing to start paying you for it, that's when you open your own business. And I shoot a look at my uncle like, I know you've got a business.
Your uncle's not here. Your father's here today. Your uncle is still
Oh,
working.
got it.
Yeah. Your father's just sitting there.
Yeah, like this is a strange path, kid. Right.
Well, it's true. Anyone who was able to decipher the mastery of that crime must have some skill.
I like look over with a big smile, like, see what I mean? Exactly. Doesn't I couldn't do it. I wouldn't look at that space and know the things you knew. So you have a gift, and maybe that's the gift that you should think about putting to use in a good quantitative way for the city of Uthodurn. And
He looks over at your dad. Can I get a small loan to start my own company?
And the nice thing is you get the fact that you just solved this major case, helping the guard, and that'll get you a foot in the door. And the money you make while working on the guard in this capacity can fund your rock collection and acquisition.
I could get my own cave.
Yeah, you could eventually get your own home.
Uncle, please. Can I? I don't think he has what it takes to be
like I said,
part of the guard.
start the job with the guards, prove that you can be helpful. Then, once people know that you have a reputation as being capable of doing this, you will get people willing to pay you for it.
Do you really think he'll be able to join the guard and make it through their boot camp?
He made us 5,000 gold.
I
That's not
I
what
just look at
asked.
Sinclair like, Ixnay on the old gay. I don't know, but I do think that the guard understands people who have a talent. And if this is a talent that could be applied to something they need, could be helpful.
If none of you will help me, I'll help myself. And he runs out of the room upstairs.
Remind me to ask Argan if there's some way I can never have children.
I can come
Well,
up with a spell.
there are many ways to make that possible.
Nell, what were you
I
saying?
feel like he needs a cape.
He has a king.
He has one. Sorry, you weren't here for his description. Out of all of the dwarves in the room, including Mama, he has by far the shortest of beards. He neatly trims it and keeps it well groomed. His hair is dyed back black and straightened, slicked backwards, but a slight little bit goes over to the side of his one head. He does not wear a cloak, which is very necessary in cold environments like this. No, he wears a tie around your neck cape that drapes down to the floor. And when you think about it, Ornell, you barely notice him when he sneaks around. And he's been sneaking around this room the entire time. You barely notice him. We finally have somebody with a good passive in the party, y'all.
Whoa.
Hey, I'm just not taking that feat.
Look, you don't have to tell us when you see everything, because we are not going to be used to knowing.
He can see things.
Right.
Corvus cries in 14. That's not bad.
Hey, I had a 17.
Argon barely notices the conversation. Wait,
I'm as good at perception as I am at armor class. So
yeah.
Oh, God.
If only that were true for me.
He looks at you, Fordrum. You know, there's no way that he could make it through their regiment. But if you think he has a talent for this, I can fund him for his first couple.
No, we don't. Nobody needs to fund him. We don't need to make him a thing. I'll go talk to the guard and I'll say, hey, there's a kid with a talent.
Oh, you really think the Euthydurnian guards are going to allow a kid who has talent to just skate on by without having to complete boot camp?
He did just solve a very important case.
That's not the question I'm asking.
Yeah, I get it. You know what? I do. I hear you, and I know what you're saying, but I do. I feel like there is an opportunity where they might look at it and go, huh, that's valuable.
Isn't that kind of the society y'all live in, though? Your skill in your craft is your worth and value.
Our guards are the protectors of our home and the entire mountain range. I served with them for 15 years.
He's not going to protect anybody from anything. But when
Exactly. I don't think he could manage to do 6.
I agree.
rooms.
But when something is lost, he could lead the guards to it better than most of those guards can.
I'll fund him to go to boot camp. No problem. You have to pay to
I
go
was
to
going
boot
to
camp.
say
You
they
have to.
charge for boot camp here?
Yeah,
Fucking Euthydurn.
you're learning a craft and a trade.
Uh-huh.
You pay to do that. But if he fails, you have to pay for his start.
No, fuck no. No. Let me try a different path first, and then I'll rock, paper, scissors you for who's paying for what.
Have you considered a bounty hunter?
That's what I'm saying. A private investigator.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty sure the good work we've done with the Arbiter and the fact that we just helped solve this case with the massive help from him will go a long way and possibly getting him a meeting at least.
Right. That's all we need. We get him a meeting, he'll be fine.
I would love a meeting with the Arbiter. He's now at the other end of the
Yep.
table.
I think it's worth it. I think it's worth a conversation. I don't think you should become a bounty hunter because nobody wants. No, we're not doing that unless you get a lot of help.
Well, I mean, he doesn't need to go after the bounty.
Right. I like where you're
That's why I
going
say
now.
Private investigator.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yes.
He investigates privately on commission.
Exactly.
I was thinking like a
It's a good job.
detective job with the guard for a
Mhm.
time.
Right. But if you work with the guard, you make a lot less money.
That's okay,
than
'cause
if you
he's-
get hired by the guard.
That's okay because he's young. I get it, but if he gets in young, does a couple of good deeds, the guard starts to like him. He's got some friends, he's got some backup, then he strikes out on his own. Baby steps, no offense, but
I would like friends. Yes.
right.
He's my friend. He points down the table at Sinclair.
Right.
Sinclair, there was more of a declaration of dibs than like anything else.
Anyway, I'm hoping that by this point, Dad has even kind of gotten to the, oh, I see where you're going.
He's following along, but he comes from a different
Of
era.
course.
He remembers the guard how he remembers
Right.
it. And yeah.
And that's why I'm like, the thing you're thinking is not the thing that he's going to do.
Well, you don't think he's going to
Alrighty.
stand on a building and try to fight crime on his own or something, do you?
Oh.
If only I could scale walls.
My eyes dart to the slippers for a second and then dart away.
O'Neill was looking at Fordrum at that point like, man.
I need my own symbol of justice. And he just says that as he's walking back up the stairs.
O'Neill whispers, Owlbear.
As he walks away, I'm like, symbol of justice is a good thought. I'm proud of you. You're my favorite nephew. I look at all the other nephews on the table and I'm like, just kidding.
They all look kind of like, wow, favorites. Okay. But anyways, that's the general atmosphere of Fordrum's home. There is a forge out back that you can go into, and thanks to the warm forge itself, you're all able to stay cozy in your nice little makeshift cots and beds because there's only just barely enough rooms for all of the siblings that live in this house, or family that lives in this house. Late into the evening, Argan, you complete your studies with this woman who smiles at you as you're now... Oh, you're beat, dude. This has been a long day of studying, and she kept up with you, man.
I haven't studied like this in quite a while. I'm not used to it anymore.
It has been a while. It has been a while for myself as well. Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate the learning. It's always nice to meet another dedicated practitioner.
Of course. May I give you a little warning?
Of course.
I am somebody who information flows past as simply as the wind. A certain individual has, well, placed a mark on you and a couple of your companions. And I think she might be coming after you one day.
I have a feeling I know who this person is.
Wonderful. Because I'm not allowed to.
Of course not. I'm
But
glad we made the last transaction we made with you then. You have a lovely evening.
you as well. She waves her hand and the door opens for you. And you barely even notice, you're so tired at this point, an impish individual standing on the table with a bow tie who just waves, "Have a good day."
You too. I will head out the door and head to Casa de Brightblade.
About halfway back to the house, you're like, did I see that? Or,
Did you really put him in a bow tie?
And explain why he hates it.
Early in the morning, Onel, you are woken up suddenly as you notice Argan walking into the forge to go to sleep.
Would leap up immediately, daggers in hand, and then seeing what it is. Oh. And since I'm awake, I would like to look around the forge to see if I can find some leather. Supple, soft, usable.
Sure. Roll an investigation. There's a good amount of leather straps in here that could be used to make wraps for fingers pretty easily. But this is all stuff that's designed for hilts of blades and stuff like that. This is a forge after all, so the leather they use usually just surrounds metal, and that's all.
Could I find enough to make like a Zorro style mask?
Absolutely.
Okay. So I want to work that up with a little owlbear beak and a little fuzz or fur around the eyes.
Are you proficient at disguise kit?
Nope, but leatherworking.
I see him scurrying about in the forge, messing around with the leather, putting it to his face. And as someone who is of that cloth, I tell him, "No, you're doing it wrong."
Oh, it's not for me. It's for the little one with the cape.
Oh, and you need to
I
do it
think it
while
would
he's
be-
asleep.
Probably a good thing Fortune doesn't sleep in the forge with us. I'm going to bed. Somebody wake me up later.
But I'm actually skilled in disguise kit and mask making, so I would be more than willing to help him make this mask for Fortune's cousin.
Really?
Oh no. Roll me a leather workers utilizing charisma at advantage.
Charisma? Oof.
Yeah, you're designing a mask, man. You have Sinclair helping you.
All right. Hey!
The outside of the leather, you tan several times over by the forge and drying it out with the intense heat over by it. And then you actually start shaping it and molding it, moving the leather and firming it out where a beak design could be. And you even put a nice solid strip of metal over the shape of the nose of this dwarven individual that's very wide-nosed. And you design all of this and start etching into the leather itself, scraping against it all of these motions of feathers to streak backwards with the other loose straps all around to design a, well, fairly well-made owl bear mask.
I look at Sinclair, hold it, share a giggle internally, and thank him for his help, and sneak off to put it in the kid's room.
Roll me a stealth check. Pray Mama don't find you. Sinclair's been hit with that spoon. Wait, Corvus was hit with the spoon?
He was, yeah. Corvus was.
23 beats Mama's her perception. You climb up the stairs, and it's easy to find which door is his. It's black. Oh.
There's a sign that says "Do not enter."
No, it actually says enter at your
Yeah,
own
you're right.
risk. ... ....
I would want to check that for traps because I know this kid.
Go for it. It is a simple hammer style trap. If you open the door, a hammer will swing down and collide with where your head is supposed to be.
And I will nod internally going, yeah, thought so. And not completely dismember it, but disable it so that I can set it back up after I leave.
Easy enough.
Yeah.
You look inside of his room, which has schematics of every single building you've spied in town walking through, as well, not very well designed schematics, but decent ones, as well as written down plans of how he would get away with stealing from these places, including the gala that you were at, and his plan was your plan verbatim.
I will make a mental note of that, and we will be in touch in the future.
Now there's two to worry about. All right. Do you leave the mask on his bed, or like on his nightstand?
On his nightstand, next to his next to him, as close as I can get to make it creepy, without waking him up, and then
Fair enough.
sneak out.
All right. By the time you get downstairs, you see a different, large, elderly, older dwarven individual taking off his boots in the foyer. Hey.
Hey.
They want to forge rooms?
Yes.
Well met. He just starts walking up the stairs.
So O'Neill paused in mid-walk and just kept and then carried on after that.
Don't steal any of the good booze.
Don't worry about the booze.
That's what? But yes, you make it all the way upstairs. And everybody goes to sleep. Everybody wakes up bright and early. Forge room. There's rapid knocking on your door.
Come in.
It flies open, and you see your cousin with this large owlbear mask with his cape fully out.
Wow.
I have the best friends.
I didn't make that for you, but that's awesome. Oh, you know.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't make this.
I pause a moment and I think, nah, I'm not going to hit him this time because he's in a good spot. And I'm like, okay, you're probably right. That's awesome. I wouldn't wear it to your interview, but it's awesome. We don't have an interview yet, but when you get one.
Oh, good. Yes. Right. For the time being, I need to become the owlbear.
Oh.
And he runs, taking off down the hallway and down the stairs.
Okay.
This is going to be good.
As soon as I hear him going down the stairs, I just whisper, they live in the forest. Never mind. I do too. I like this cousin a lot.
Two other cousins walk by your room shaking their head.
Fordham just flips it. You know what? Attention will solve all. Fuckers. I get
to get him down.
He was fine before you showed up.
He didn't talk to anybody the whole time for months. It was great. I get dressed. Say morning thanks, and proceed down to the forge to see what everyone's up to. I was hoping that we had chamois size leather of some sort, but I guess maybe not.
Well, your mother would.
Mom,
it just wouldn't be sitting in the forge.
Can I have 2 pieces of chamois leather? I gotta make a pair of gloves.
Yep, take some from
Thank you. I go get a couple of nice matched, hopefully, pieces, or something that I know will be big enough to cover Argan's hands.
Easy enough
to accomplish. Take a couple pieces. Go down, see how everyone is in the forge. Wake up, people.
I'm sitting there writing on a piece of parchment.
Morning, Sinclair. And I
Morning.
just say it with my hand up, like I'm not going to bother you. I just saying good morning. Morning. Argon, is he asleep still? Because he could be tired.
He would be asleep a little
Alright.
longer than everybody
Not
else.
gonna-
He was up until like wee
Right.
hours.
I'm not going to wake him. I think breakfast is definitely going to be or served if anyone's hungry.
At that moment, Argon, you do wake up.
Oh,
Corvus bolts
breakfast.
up and just runs for it.
He's acclimating to the family so well.
Did I hear breakfast?
Yeah. Hey, sit up, please.
I'll sit up.
Put your hands out for me.
I'll put my hands out.
Thanks. I lay a piece of leather on top of each one.
Yeah, I was doing that in real life, and I don't know why.
Okay, so am I.
Just manicure style.
Exactly. I lay a piece of leather on each one, and I'm gonna just simply, because I want to get this done before breakfast. I'm gonna channel divinity, artisan blessing, and just say the prayer and have him like whoop and form up around his hands.
The thin leather forms a tight, sturdy, but flexible course around your hand.
There you go.
Argon, you can see your fingers now.
Hey,
They're just covered in
that's
leather.
helpful.
Yeah. How does it? I touch his fingertips. How's it feel? Good.
Yeah, it
Sturdy.
feels good.
Good.
You just made him 100 GP valued
Uh-huh.
wolves. They're pretty fucking
Right.
good.
It'll take some getting used to, but it's certainly better than not being able to see my fingers. Thank you, Fordrum.
They're welcome.
I was going to say, while you were writing down whatever you were writing down yesterday, could you see what you were writing through your fingers?
It's very weird.
yeah, I could. It was strange.
That must be off-putting.
Yeah, well, luckily I've written for so long I don't always have to watch it. Is Corvus still here, or did he take off for breakfast?
He took off for breakfast. You better
Okay.
get there, or else.
All right. Well, I got some information, but should be for the group, and it's somewhat business, so we don't want to say it at the dinner table
Right on.
because we don't want to break Mama's rules.
Yep.
Good thing this is breakfast.
Yes. So on to breakfast.
Oh, and I look over and I'm like, breakfast counts. It's really in the kitchen. You don't talk business.
The dining
Yeah.
table.
There can be a little shop talk, but she might smack you depending on what it is.
So, this time, the energy at the table seems to be much more happy-go-lucky, and at the head of the table is that same man that you saw last night, Onel, who lifts up a goblet of what you can only presume is a morning ale and gestures at you as he's sipping, and everybody else is fighting over the piles of sausage, fried ham, and eggs, and toast. So much toast. All right, everyone, remember, we got a guest in here. We still have a guest here. You get some, and she takes heaps full and serves you, Onel, as everybody else in Fordrum's family so far, or group, everybody else in the group, has to fight. Y'all have been here once before.
Right.
Much approved, lady.
My name's Mama. You call me that, okay?
Understood, Mama?
Very good. So, which one of you smartasses did that? She points at the end of the table where Fordrum's cousin is sitting with the mask on.
Nice mask.
Not me.
I was out studying. I was way too tired to do any
Not
mask
me.
making.
But it's awesome. I point over at him.
This is the new symbol of justice in our town.
I just smile at my dad like, what? I'm only in town.
It's your uncle now. It's your uncle now.
Oh, it's uncle now. I smile at my uncle
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
I'm only in town for 2 weeks. I got your kid on the right path.
Lifts his ale over
Uh-huh.
towards you. Yeah, it looks fucking awesome.
Yep.
Ah,
I
what is that supposed to be? A owlbear? I am the owlbear.
I pour myself an ale and sit down at the table now.
O'Neill is
So how
just
much?
quietly munching, trying to not attract attention.
So how much longer are all of you gonna be staying in town? Not that I don't love having you around, but if the freeloaders are gonna be here another night, they're gonna have to start doing some chores.
You know me, Mama. I'm more than willing to clean up and do the dishes.
Oh, I know. I just want to organize my schedule for the week.
I think we'll probably leave soon, but before we do, if you want, I'll make lunch.
All of your cousins rotate their heads towards you, Fordrum. And your mom just raises her eyebrow. You're willing to take that responsibility.
As long as I can be alone in the kitchen.
Sure. That'll give me time to go to the store and pick up all of the groceries we've been lacking on.
Perfect. I'll have lunch made when you come back.
Perfect. And that is a question the DM is giving you all. How much longer do you anticipate staying in town before you go off to where you're going?
I think,
Oh, go ahead.
unless Argan, you have other ideas, we probably need to provision a little bit.
Yeah, but that's not too much to really do.
Oh, isn't? Okay. Well, we could leave anytime.
So I guess we
Leave
need to have a
after lunch.
conversation about next step. Are we going to Vasselheim or are we going to Whitestone? I think Vasselheim seemed like the most likely, with Whitestone probably being secondary as the backup if he's not at Vasselheim.
I think that's correct.
So how do we want to get to Vasselheim?
Believe our friend the Kobold Soul might have a circle we might be able to use and pay for.
Maybe. Otherwise, I know I can get us to Amon, which
However-
is on the coast across from Vasselheim. It would be a boat ride across what I don't know what that ocean is off the top of my head. But
However, if they're at closer to the other shrine, then I don't know the best way to travel across the ocean here locally.
Now we bring you guys over to the world map so it's easier to conceptualize.
I think we need to scry one more time before we
That's Iman.
That
where I
out.
just pinged you all.
While Vasselheim was a potential, don't you think we should look in first and then move?
I don't disagree. I definitely think we should scry first before we make a final decision. So do we want to do that first? We need to go find a place because I can't cast anything
Around a bunch
here.
of noise.
Well, no, I'm not allowed to cast in the house. No magic
Oh.
is the rule. Don't
Well,
break the
but-
rules.
You could probably cast in the forge, Mom.
I'll allow it.
Yeah. So if you wanted to do it in the forge, that would be okay. That's kind of like the garage.
Okay.
There's a lot that goes on in the forge. Nothing. I'm not gonna. Nothing. Can't talk about it.
What kind of things go on?
We
in the
make
Forge,
stuff.
Fordrum?
We make all kinds of stuff. Swords,
Yeah,
things. Yeah.
gloves.
Boy talk, things like that.
Boy talk. Things that you shouldn't say in front of your mom.
I just keep looking at my uncle now, like.
And he's smiling a mile wide.
Oh man.
You dug that hole,
I
buddy.
know.
You did it all on your own.
So, Mom, do you have a choice that you'd like for lunch?
Slices of pork
Done.
belly with lettuce, tomato,
Huh?
mayo. Do the rye bread. You know the way I like it. Pickles.
Good choice.
Yes. Side of onions. I don't want them on the sandwich.
Deal.
Don't want the juices to
Yep.
get in. They need to be on the side. But still circular. I want them sliced in circles. And all of your cousins go, yeah, me too, yeah. Every single one of them you have to feed. You volunteered.
I have spells.
Oh, it's going to be so bland.
Create food and water.
It is the most bland food. but it's
know what?
food. It's just
we
bland.
can
I think I
cast
can
a
press the
ton
ten-
of, like I said, a
I
ton of
can't-
prestidigitation.
Yeah, exactly.
We got 3 people that could, at least 3 of us that could cast prestidigitation.
Well, you're gonna have to go to where they're eating it. They don't eat at home. They eat while working.
Yeah, and I have plans today.
So Mama's is gonna be delicious.
They're
Everybody else's.
gonna be like, we're not gonna let Fordham cook ever again. You know what? Sometimes doing it one time poorly gets you out of it for life.
That was my motto in
Uh-huh.
high school.
Motto
God,
on
I
a couple
love
of dates I went
sexual
on.
jokes.
Didn't work with homework.
Argon, you still need to transcribe the rest of your spells into your new book. right?
Yeah, I'm gonna need a day to catch up on spell work.
Well, you could do that while in the forge.
Yeah.
No one's gonna bother you.
Well,
Well, generally, when I travel, I'm the travel itself is paid for. So perhaps we could look for work in that city and negotiate.
we can see once we get there.
Well, once we figure out where we need to go, I'm pretty sure we can talk to one of our contacts, see if they have a means of getting closer. If not, maybe Argon might know of a circle closer.
Yeah.
I believe an airship is the fastest way.
Do you
An
do you
airship
happen to
will
have
take
one in your
you-
back pocket?
No, but we just need to make it to the closest dock.
Sinclair, you have no idea what the fucking airship is. Actually,
Is that like a?
Corvus, you have no idea what the fucking
Is
airship
that like a?
is. Forgeroom, you have no idea what a fucking
Nope.
airship
Is that like a sailboat?
Argon knows.
Oh yeah.
That's why I said we got a floating chair.
It's
It's
kind of like
that,
a
but
boat.
bigger.
Yeah, I get the idea. I've just never seen such a thing.
Likewise.
Well, I mean, truthfully, boats float. I mean, that's
Yeah, but on water and not, above
Right.
that.
I get the airship part seems a little different.
So much could go wrong.
So much could go wrong on a boat.
Well, but I can swim.
I
For
can
how
breathe
long?
underwater.
Well, not. Yeah.
So Corvus for the whole time.
I can fly. I was just waiting. Like,
I can feather fall. I can't fly, but
Wouldn't you hover above the water?
no, it does not.
We already tried that.
Tried that.
Uh,
It doesn't work. I had to carry it across the last river we crossed.
Luckily, there was a dragon who helped. So
Yeah,
That was better than trying it out in the middle of the ocean.
fair point.
It is better to test in shallower waters. Yes, agreed. Dragon?
yeah, water dragon.
One of 2 that day.
Yeah, it was a dragony kind of day.
It's a weird.
It sounds like it.
All right, so let me do my spells today. Anybody else could do anything else they want and do some provisioning. And then tomorrow we can scry and decide on where we're going.
I think that's smart. Sinclair, you guys been okay with that?
yeah, I'm fine with staying in town for another
Yeah.
day, and then I
Yeah.
can catch up with my kinsmen, and you can make lunch, and
Yep.
we're gonna definitely need more alcohol. The road ahead.
Yeah.
That's fair.
True. So all I want to accomplish today is the lunch and delivering of that. I want to stop by the captain of the guard and have a talk with him about the potential of considering my nephew as a detective.
Mhm.
And I will explain he's weird, but he has a gift. And that's it.
With you.
I'm not going to tell him I'm doing that. I'm just
Oh.
do it.
Alrighty. Anybody else have any other
I
plans?
do have one thing. but I'm
Okay.
not going to openly say it. You know what it is, though. The
thing that you tried whispering to me?
the delivery of that.
Yeah. Okay, that's easy enough.
And then I spend like 30 minutes getting my spell slot back.
Yep. Corvus, are you doing anything?
I think I'm just gonna get a head start on shopping provisions.
All right.
Alcohol.
That being the chief.
So whatever you're attempting to purchase, if it comes from the player's handbook, you purchase it at the player's handbook's value. Easy enough.
All right, now I just need to find my player's handbook.
That's easy enough. Fordrum, task A, easily accomplished. Task B, roll a persuasion.
Oh,
We'll consider him, but you have to keep in mind the trial is literally meant to weed out the people who can't make it.
yeah. He probably won't make the trial, but he was able to understand and explain the heist before it ever happened.
Oh, totally. And like I said yesterday, you guys reported the crime as the crime. Well, you were reporting the whereabouts of where the artifact went as the crime was being reported to
Because
us.
my nephew had already he already planned how he would have done it if he were that type who would do it. I know. So if you need a detective for any kind of a theft, he probably could go to the location, explain how it was done, and lead you quickly, easily. So I don't expect him to be your muscle. I don't expect him to be a town guard. But as someone who could help in the cases of theft, he's good at
How
it.
about this? I'm not going to put him through the trial or boot camp. I'll take him on as an apprentice. He can follow me on all my jobs. And if I notice this skill myself, then I can convince the higher-ups to let him on the force.
All right. But I appreciate that. Before you take it on to that extent, be aware he's odd.
Eccentric.
Figured.
I've
seen him around town once. in a
Yeah, he
while.
now has
He always holds his cape backwards as he
Yeah.
runs.
and now he has a mask that he thinks he likes to call himself the owlbear.
Oh, you're not fucking
No.
with me. Oh.
Sometimes it takes an
It'll be a-
eccentric to find a eccentric.
It'll be a hard sell.
I know.
But considering the good name of your family and the good work of yesterday,
Yeah.
I'll take him on as an apprentice.
I will let him know, and I will try and talk to him about it.
I have one demand, though. This holiday season, your mom has to put me down for 3 pies.
I'll ask.
Your mom's pie gets auctioned off at charity.
Okay.
events. They're very good.
Yeah. I'll explain all of that. I'll tell my nephew, look, you got an apprenticeship. Don't bug him too much. Just offer help where you can help. Otherwise, absorb, take notes, be helpful. Don't be in the way. Cool.
He looks around the room
Don't rob the house.
and quickly gives you a hug and then pulls back.
Ah. I hug him back, and then I step forward and hug him like like he's got no choice.
Too close. Too close. Too close. Come on, man. Be cool.
We are cool.
Be cool. Come on.
I hug him for longer than he's comfortable with, for sure.
Come on.
I'm very proud
He
of
finally
you.
shows his real voice that he's.
Yeah, I'm very proud of you, and I want you to do great things.
Oh.
And then I step back, straighten his mask, pull out the cape and pull it so it just covers the corners of his shoulders. And I'm like, Yep. You're set.
I am the knight, and he runs out the front door.
Do great things. Your father will look over you. Make us proud.
So if you ever need a backup character for Trump,
I don't think I could play it as well, honestly.
Pure chaotic good.
Yep.
He's not a bad kid. He's good. He's
Right.
Anyways. Everybody else commits to their tasks. Argan, other than writing down all of your books, you said you wanted to scry upon this individual.
Yes, once
You're
everyone
muted if
else
you're
is
talking,
around,
Joe.
so that we can
Okay,
all see.
So, mid-afternoon, everybody comes back home. About an hour after you dropped off everybody's lunches for Drum, one of your cousins walks in here and just flips you the fuck off and then walks out.
Do
Love
not
you.
Like your,
Give him bland fucking
do you not like your
fuck
lunch?
you.
Dick.
Fucking piece of shit. It just runs out. But anyways, you're all together? Ready for the scry?
Ready for the scry.
I'm going to cast tongues on myself, so in case anybody speaks a foreign language, I can understand it.
That's not a bad idea.
Thanks.
I'm going to do the same.
I speak
Yeah.
exclusively in foreign languages.
I'm gonna do comprehend languages before I do that. That is a fantastic idea.
Good idea. Good idea.
I have no idea what is happening, but I am here for the ride.
Argan, describe what your casting of scry looks like to all of us. As you were taught by, out of character, a hag.
So I'm gonna assume, based upon who I learned it from, that I'm gonna guess it's a bowl filled with water with a touch of my own blood
Ew.
dipped into it as part of it. So I'll pinprick
Giant blood's
I'll
good.
pinprick a finger and squeeze a drop in as I've got the piece kind of hovered over the top of it as I chant the words and I stir the blood through the water, and as it starts to take on color from the blood and it dissolves more and more into more and more colors until eventually it becomes a picture.
And we'll see if that picture solidifies with this wisdom save. I believe you have a personal effect of theirs, so they get a -3.
4, but he's at +5 because I've only ever heard of him. I
You've seen
think.
him.
So it comes out to a +1.
You've seen him in the last scry.
Oh, that's true. I have seen him. Oh, does he have to be in person? I don't remember.
No,
Okay.
no. So long as you've seen the individual, you can gauge them.
Can I guidance on him?
You can, but it's a saving throw. The other individual
Okay.
has to
Yeah.
fail. Yeah. Your spell seems to attach. And the first thing all of you notice as the bowl is boiling and coming to a very subtle, smooth image is the smell. It smells so sweet and intoxicating. The smell itself is something that none of you have experienced directly before, but immediately draws your attention to, what's that coming from? What smells so good? Pastries lining the inside of shelves are beside him as this dwarven man sits at a table with his feet up on a chair in a very narrow little, what looks to be pastry shop. He's sipping an espresso and currently eating something that Argan would immediately recognize as a Crystal One Claw. It's like a bear claw, but dragon claw. Much bigger. He seems to just be sitting there enjoying himself, drinking, stroking his beard, and lying back, reclining in his chair to a very uncomfortable creak. Listen, how many more days are we doing our training here? Gotcha. And then we can head back home to Vasselheim, right? Beautiful. You see a gnomish woman walk over to the table, and you can hear her speaking. She appears to be some employee at whatever establishment he's at. Can I get you anything else before you go? Oh, darling, I would love a little to-go box of pastries. What's that going to run me? Another 15 gold? Yeah, if you want a whole box, I'll take it from you. No problem. Such a beautiful, beautiful place. Hey, what about some of your merchandise? Can I get one of those shirts? Oh, sure. And she walks out, walks back, unfolds a shirt, and tosses it over to him, where he snatches it. Ha ha ha, this is great. And folds it up quickly. I would like a perception check from all of you.
Okay, mine's with advantage.
Yeah. 22, 23, 3.
I'm focused
24,
on
23.
I'm focused on casting the spell.
Oh, I was going to say the smell. Wow, what is that?
I haven't had a crystal claw in years.
They're so good.
Sure,
Everybody
you've got
else.
2 crystal claws.
Hey. Everybody else notices the name on the shirt, Slayer's Cake. But none of you know what the hell that is. Oh, thank you, sweetheart. Here. Take 3 platinum. That should probably come. Oh, come on. You can't possibly tip us that much. Listen, where I work, no problem at all. You take that, you get yourself something nice for the holidays. You got a little one back home, right? Take care of them. Have a good little holiday, all right? And I'll be back next time I come through here, okay? Oh, bless you. You're such a sweetheart. It's unfortunate to see you leave. Gotta go back to home. They're waiting for me for the next trials. I'm gonna be in charge of them. Really? I thought it was supposed to be Iblis in charge of them. Nah, she left to go with that other group down in the thicket. So,
How do you spell that name?
Iblis? Well, be sure to come through whenever you can. I certainly will, darling. All right. I'm going to be taking my leave now. He throws the shirt over his shoulder, takes his pink to-go box that still has Slayer's Cake written over top of it, that the 4 of you all notice, and he walks out of the frame of this spell. A moment later, the spell readjusts as he's walking down the streets, whistling happily, in a snow-covered terrain. Very, very cold, and even to this dwarven individual, he seems to have a little bit of a shiver to him as he's walking around. And you notice a lot of people walking about. Humans, quite a few half-elves, quite a few wood elves as well in this territory. All of them wearing fur-covered clothing as their preferred choice of warmth, and some of the individuals wearing much nicer-looking things as he walks by a magnificently large tree with these hulking limbs that stretch outwards about 70 to 80 feet to the very longest stretches of it. The tree itself looks to be an ancient willow tree that Fordrum, in particular, would recognize what that is. Woodcarvers.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as he's walking away, your spell fades and ends.
Question.
Yeah.
When we looked at him, could I make a perception to see what all he has on his person that is visible?
His equipment? I'd allow that on a 23.
Okay.
He has a shield. He has a sword. Looks to be a long sword. Sheathed on the opposite side, and the shield seems to be strapped to his right shoulder, like right behind the blade, mostly in a rested position, not a readied position. He appears to be wearing half of a complete set of full plate mail armor, by your best estimate, probably just relaxing around town right now. The armor itself is large, white-chested in the front, and has the image of a hammer across it, but there's also an image that you kind of saw behind the hammer, but you couldn't make out the finer details of that. His beard, half of it black, the other half pink, clearly dyed.
Because I know that he also worships another deity, does it look like possibly her symbol underneath it?
Your 23 was not high enough to get a better look at it.
Okay.
Yeah. Your spell ends, Argon. Ah, that smell was so good.
Slayer's cake and a giant tree in the wintry zones. Anyone know what kind of
History check, Argon.
tree that is?
Let's find out if I do. Oh, that was
Argon.
almost a 2.
Slayer's cake? Slayer's cake? That's in Whitestone.
It's in Whitestone.
Yeah, Slayer's cake is in Whitestone.
So he's heading to he's in Whitestone and then heading to Vasselheim.
In so many days, yeah. We don't know the exact number of days.
So it's likely that we would prefer to head for Vasselheim.
Unless
Depends.
we have a quick way to get to Whitestone.
I don't believe we do.
Does Whitestone have either a Lyceum or a Cobalt Soul?
No, it does not have either.
So I don't know of a way we'd be able to find a circle that I know of.
Does it have any churches that might have means of teleportation to?
Argon, 21 history check. Whitestone has a handful of different churches in it, but most of them are much more modern, crafted after the era of Vox Machina. And they're not really the highly established churches either. There is a reasonably powerful shrine to the Queen of Ravens in particular. But aside from that, everything else is a bit more modernized, so they don't have anything built like that that you are aware of yet. You do know the Whitestone, or the Dorolo family, in particular, Vexalia. She travels around Tal'Dorei in particular very quickly. And she is currently the, queen's not the right word, ruler
Whitestone.
of Whitestone.
Well, y'all have that thing y'all need to return to the Raven Queen anyway, right? Or give
Is
to her followers?
Fordrum, is there a Church of the Raven Queen here?
I don't think so.
There's no church to the Raven Queen, but there are what are those things called? Not obituary,
Enclave?
Ossuary?
funeral
Oh.
homes.
Yeah. There's funeral homes.
They're not churches. It's more of a shrine
Right.
to her than an
So
actual church.
I don't know if they have a circle at the church in Whitestone, but if they did, that symbol might be enough to buy us the coordinates to
No.
someone who is a worshiper of the Raven Queen.
Yeah,
But-
this
But I don't know.
no, we can't really just give it to
A
Anyone.
random person.
yeah, it's not that kind of a thing.
Okay.
I
Well-
appreciate the idea, but that's not where its value will lie.
The religion's far more your area than mine, so I will
Yeah.
take your answer for that.
What is this thing we're discussing?
We found what appears to be we found a holy symbol to the Raven Queen that seems to be quite fancy or quite special, I guess would be the word for it.
It should be given to as high of a priest or priestess that we could find. The holiest of the order that we can come across. I don't really know how or who would pick such, but
Have you tried to commune with the holy symbol of her church?
no,
He's not of that religion.
I don't want to, right?
Well, I'm just saying you could always attempt to speak with.
He also just said he doesn't.
Yeah, I'm just saying I could if you want me to.
No. No offense, but I don't have any interest in letting anyone else tend to it. It needs to go. I think it needs to go directly to whom it is intended. And I don't think we should barter with it.
So I don't. I
I wasn't trying to barter with it, is the thing. I was going to commune and see if I could speak with her.
Yeah, you're not going to get that from this with me. Sorry.
So I don't know of a way for us to do a quick trip to Whitestone, which means so we probably need to head towards where we know he's going, which would be Vasselheim. Which is what Corvus said. So I'm with Corvus at this point.
We could check with the Cobalt Soul. Maybe they might have information of circles nearby. Maybe not necessarily in Whitestone, but one of the surrounding regions.
If anybody would, it would be them. Now, whether they'll sell or give that information may be a different story, because I'm not sure what we'd have to offer them.
Well, if he was walking towards the tree as we saw he was, I'm assuming his exit was relatively immediate. So I'm not 100% sure he would still be in Whitestone, and we should be focusing on Vasselheim.
Fair.
That's my line of thinking as well.
He did say something about how many days are we still here training, though.
That's what I was getting at. Like, they may still be there for maybe a week more.
But we also didn't hear
point.
the other side of that conversation, and that's interesting.
Yep.
Because we heard the employee talk.
Yep.
But we didn't hear the answer to that one, which means the other one there was either way out of range, which I doubt based upon his speaking volume, or they're blocked against scrying.
Or they're internal. And based off of the last scry we did prior to this, we also figured that some entity is communicating with him that talked him into stealing the documents.
I guess I don't remember that.
Well, he's stealing things. Did that?
I don't remember there being any indication that he was talking to something else. He was talking to people that were there
Near the hot dog stand?
Yeah, I don't remember I could be mistaken, but I don't remember hearing anything about.
I remember that when he was in the cave that one day, he woke up and he was different. He was talking to himself, and then
the dust said
yes,
this.
the dust said this. And then when we did one of our first scryings, he was talking to someone in that bar, but his expression shifted as if he were talking to someone through like message or telepathy.
Out of character, I will confirm what Sinclair is saying. I did describe this.
Also, I need some alcohol because now my head hurts.
So
remembering all this.
So that means he could have been talking to someone somewhere else then, which is why we didn't pick it up.
Hands him the rest of his breakfast ale.
So that's a good call out. But I still don't know that it changes anything other than I don't think we can get to Whitestone in time unless for some reason we could get something out of the Cobalt Soul.
Well, we also need to know what this trial that he's talking about is. So the Cobalt Soul may have information of Vasselheim trials that are normally held by Iblis.
Gosh, it's too bad we don't have Cade now, because we could have just stepped into a tree like we did that other time.
He had to know the tree. He couldn't just teleport to Vasselheim unless he'd been there.
No, but we just saw him walk next to a tree.
Yeah.
You saw the tree. Yeah, that would have been good enough for
okay,
him.
yeah.
Literally, if you had a cave.
Yeah.
Or a different powerful druid. Who knows?
Yeah.
There is the other druid, but he didn't see the tree. I guess we could scry it again.
He seemed like kind of a prick.
Oh, okay.
Tricks can be useful.
He's a helpful prick for what it is. Well,
Who
maybe.
here understands Infernal? Sorry,
Me.
I forgot to do this earlier.
Well, I had tongues on, so maybe.
I think we all.
It's a cultural understanding.
I speak Infernal.
So he understands the language. It's the cultural.
Yeah.
So the word Iblis is a name. So that is how everybody with magic perceives it. It is a name, Iblis. Sinclair, in Infernal, Iblis translates to cast out and away.
That is their fiendish name. Or fiendish translation. I might also know someone in town that might know more on the individual that y'all know as Iblis, but those who have been to where I have call it a different name. He might be willing to sell that information. Like he said, he's always willing to sell information. for
But he
coin.
said that Iblis was leaving and not able to do some judging or something. So is Iblis a famous person?
Iblis is leaving and now he's in charge.
Right.
Yeah.
That is what he said.
So where I come from, Iblis translate as to cast out and away.
Hence, he's leaving, right?
Well, I'm guessing it means he was thrown out or something.
Or
If
relieved of his position permanently.
yeah,
Right, but he talked about this Iblis as being some entity or person who
Yeah.
was foregoing being in charge of something, and now
Is in the south.
he's going to be in charge of something that's happening in, I think, Vasselheim is how I
Yeah.
perceived it.
But I could ask our business associate
Are there
why
events?
those of our kind would have anything to do with Vasselheim trials.
Are there any events or trials happening in Whitestone? Do we know if that's a thing? Because
That might be a
didn't
Cobalt
the
Soul
woman at the
question.
bakery ask him about who was going to be?
she did.
So maybe it's something that's happening. Like maybe he's judging the beauty contest in Whitestone before he leaves.
We could go to the Cobalt Soul and see if there's anything about trials between either Vasselheim or Whitestone, and see if we could find anything on either.
I think that's valuable.
To Sinclair's point.
Yeah.
And I could check in with the imp and see if he knows why an entity from hell would be participating or running trials.
We
Okay.
assume just because it's named Iblis that it's from hell?
It's the translation, yeah.
It's a very famous name.
Everyone that perceives that entity's name hears Iblis.
You know, aren't we met up with a guy who was like had horns and he was like half have demon kind of a thing.
The Tiefling.
Yeah, he was a tiefling.
Yes. There's
They
many of them down there.
they sometimes name themselves after fiendish names, right? Maybe this person's just a tiefling.
It's possible, but it's worth looking into on both angles. Argon in the books, me with contacts.
Yeah, I don't see any reason not to look into it. I mean,
Okay.
I don't think we're giving anything away by asking about Iblis.
Dotting I's, crossing T's.
Yeah. Safe enough.
More information makes us have a better means of making a decision going forward.
So is Iblis the thing's name, or is there something blocking us from knowing its name and it is only heard as Iblis?
It is being blocked. You only hear Iblis. But in actual translation, it means to cast out and away.
Hmm.
Yeah.
So
There are certain, so just as an explanation to what he's describing, which is accurate, there are certain cultures and dialects of languages that names have literal translations that to somebody else, just as like a, for instance, Ahmed. If you heard the name Ahmed, you would go, all right, that's a name, Ahmed. But if you're from that culture, if you understand like the actual language, you understand that that is a translation of an actual terminology that the name is named after. That is what he is referring to right now. Fiendish, as an origin of name, has that same type of note associated to it. It has that same type of information attached to a name. That's why
names are big.
names are big to them, because you can learn a lot about an individual who is fiendish through their name. Assuming, of course, they are not just a tiefling like Fortune brought up. But dotting I's, crossing T's.
Yeah.
I was only asking because that seems like if it's somebody who's stepping down, would be potentially easier to procure if we could find them. But if we don't know their actual name, that could be more difficult than our current foes.
Well, I think it's the person's name, one way or the other.
Mm.
In either instance, we don't really need to find them. We need
Well,
to
but-
find
but
where
they
they were
may-
judging
but-
a contest.
Yeah, it may
Whatever.
be a lead to finding out what they were working
Up
on.
to. Yeah.
Right.
Well, and if he's part of I'm merely suggesting is because if he is part of an organization, then we could get information on that organization.
Fair.
That's kind of the reason why I want to speak to our contact, because if fiends are involved in Vasselheim in this trial, it's better to know what we're going to be walking into so we could prepare if need be.
Is that what Vasselheim is like? I thought it was a holy town.
It's a town of religions,
Sure.
Which is
but not all religions are good. I realize that the Allfather is, but not all gods are like the Allfather.
Well, yeah, of course. I know that.
There's
Well, we can do one of two things. We can either go to Whitestone and wait, or we can either go to Whitestone and hope to intercept, or we could go to Vasselheim and wait. The problem I have with us going to Vasselheim and waiting is we have to go to Vasselheim and wait without snooping, because we don't want people to know that we're looking for him when we get there, and then perhaps tip him off.
it's a fair point.
That's why the more we know before we make that decision, the better we can prep. And what not to say when we make, like, if we do end up going to Vasselheim.
I agree with that. Whatever contexts you gentlemen have here, we should use. Mine left rather angrily.
Well, at least he
So-
got his boots. Or slippers, sorry.
Do you know any of his
Those are
other
some nice
employees that might know
slippers.
something?
Gideon was the information guy. That was his job specifically, information.
Yeah. I do have this, and I show the copy of his appointment book.
Do you have any appointments in
Scheduler.
Whitestone or Vasselheim?
It needs to be decoded. It's not.
Let me see it.
Sure, I'll hand it over.
I have the ability to read and decipher, and I'm guessing it's going to be investigation.
It is a straight intelligence check to try to decode this cipher. You can read any written language as it was intended to be read. This was intended to be read as gibberish to individuals, but you can try to work through the cipher. That's straight intelligence,
Straight
though.
intelligence.
Yeah.
I'll give it a.
Or sorry, it's an intelligence save to just get through the cipher. Intelligence save. Yeah.
Do you want me to try that instead?
Mr.
Mr.
You know what? I'm gonna
Einstein
try
over
it
here.
once, and then I'm gonna be day drinking while I'm talking with my friend.
Okay.
So.
All right. That's
I can assist with that since.
Nope, I'm day drinking, and I'm with the
Oh, jeez.
That's a 1, by the way. Not a 7. That's a 1.
I can
Yeah.
assist since we probably need some form of reference, and this date here in the planner was the date that I was meeting with him.
Well, that's a good starting point.
Would you like to assist Sinclair or Argan? Because
Yeah.
Sinclair looked at this thing and his eyes automatically crossed.
Yeah, I'm gonna
My
go with
eyes looked
Arden.
at it, and then they immediately looked at
Yeah.
the bottle of blues and go, "Yep, I'll see y'all later. I'm gonna go see the teeth."
Yeah, is he going to be okay? I think his brain broke.
Yeah, he's done that before. Some time and some alcohol, he'll be all right.
As lizard folk, we call it going chameleon when the eyes start looking indifferent.
Alrighty, so you're assisting Argan then? So while the two of you are doing that, Sinclair says he's going to be going out to try to speak to the imp. Fordrum, is there a line that you would like to take for all of this? Is there a place you would like to go to investigate, to converse with people?
When Sinclair walks away, I'm going to sort of close one eye and see if he's changing colors too after the chameleon thing.
You know what? Just to fuck with him, the glamour starts shimmering slightly.
Huh. Crazy. No, I am going to refill the mug and hang out with Argan and them because, you know, there isn't much to this that I can help with. I'm not going to, if they want to go to the Cobalt Soul, I can help with the conversations, but I wouldn't know of a teleportation circle or anything in Uthadern, right?
No, but you would know people who know things in Uthadern.
Sure. Well, when we get to that part where they're like, we got to go find a thing, then I'll be like, let's go ask this guy. But
It'd be handy to be able to get back if you could find one here.
well, yeah, no, I get
Yeah.
that. I don't know if there is one, but I think I know who we can ask.
Okay.
But your people at the library seemed pretty knowledgeable.
Yeah,
Right?
they are.
I'd ask them.
Yeah, and I will. I'll ask them at
They're
some
like the
time.
smart magic elves.
Corvus, are you doing anything?
I'm probably back to what I've been doing most of the time while I'm here. Just one last bar brawl for the road.
Okay. Have you finished all your whistling books, by the way?
By now, I think I probably would have.
You are now proficient in various forms of whistling. You can do performance checks to whistle at advantage.
Ooh.
And you can mimic different sounds of various
I was going to
birds.
say bird calls.
That
I
one I
expect you
might
to do
actually
all
use at some point.
I'm a bird.
Just do a little like Tweety.
Next month, you hear turkeys.
Who's there? Oh, it's a bird.
Oh,
Okay.
fucking birds. Anyways, Argan, give me an intelligence save at advantage since Onel is trying to assist you.
Can I guidance that? No.
No.
Guidance is not on saving throws. But 19 is high enough to break the cipher. This guy's not that smart. Gideon's not that smart. Argan, you have successfully written down the cipher that you can now use to read through the book at a very slow rate and translate into what it is supposed to be.
Okay. So I'm going to leave that with Onel tomorrow while I go to the Cobalt Soul. Because I'm assuming we've probably eaten up most of the day at this point. Between scribing spells, doing scry, and breaking this down.
Yeah. It's later in the afternoon at this point. It's Uthadurn. You start early.
Well, now you need a beer?
No, thank you. I will stay here and break
Whiskey.
this. No, I'm good. I have a bit of reading to do with this cipher, and blurred vision does not help with that.
I'll hand you some parchment and a pen and some regular ink.
Thank
'Cause
you.
I have all that.
Yeah.
You and me both.
Alrighty.
You could.
So, Sinclair, you go back over to the shop. Ooh, it's you again. All right, come on in. You didn't bring your posse with you this time.
No, this is a matter not suited for their ears.
The door shuts and the imp appears in front of you, just flying in the air. What's up?
So it looks like one of our kind is in, or was running trials in Vasselheim. The one named Cast Out and Away. You know, Iblis.
Iblis.
Yes. Supposedly she's stepping down and letting someone else take over the reins. She's heading south. You know, information is key in our line of work. You can sell that information. I can sell that information. If you know anything, it might help me in my decision making. I thought it best to inform you so, you know, we still stand on good footing.
You know what? I'm gonna do some research on where she is.
You know why she would even be running trials in Vasselheim?
I have no idea.
I can.
But I'll ask my mistress to do some research as well.
Okay.
Free of charge, of
Of
course.
course.
With exclusivity on this inquiry.
What you tell me is my information and of no
You
importance
don't bring
of
this
them.
to anybody
Exactly.
else. Perfect. He sticks his hand up. Then we got
We've
a
got
deal.
an accord.
You shake hands.
Yep. And my mark and his mark. Yep. Glow.
Intertwine on your
Yep.
pinkies.
Levistus and I believe Glacia is the mistress.
Glacia.
Yeah.
Glacia.
Yep.
Wait.
That's the only mistress I know of, off the top of my head.
Well, no. His mistress is out of. It's fine, whatever. But his mark is of
Yeah.
Glacia.
When it's a female fiendish presence, it's someone under her command normally. Yeah.
Sometimes, yeah. So, anyways, get out of the shop. We got some work to do, and we're closing up probably for the next few weeks.
All right, you can get a hold of me, right?
We'll get in
Yeah.
contact with. Oh yeah, easily. Yeah. We will. You'll definitely be seeing from us again.
All right,
Take care.
you too.
Sinclair, insight check. As you walk out the door, it shuts and locks behind you. Yeah, you don't notice anything about that conversation. All right. Anyways, Argan Corvus Fordrum, while Onel is transcribing the entire ledger, the three of you are going over to the Cobalt Soul then?
Sure.
Yeah.
All right. Corvus whistling the entire way as he can gloriously
Ale? Anyone for the road? Walking drink?
Why not? Let's have a walking ale.
Yeah, let's.
There we go.
You're corrupting poor young Argan here.
You're young?
No, not really. I think I'm in my 30s.
And I'm just staring up at you like, huh. Never would have guessed you were that young. All right. 30s. Okay.
My race doesn't live as long as yours, Wardrobe.
Well, I mean,
We just grow
feel like
faster.
it would take an eternity for me to get to that height. And I just wink at him, handing up the ale. And one slightly upward to Corvus.
Alrighty. Then the three of you do your open carry, which is legal in this city with alcohol, all the way over to the Cobalt Soul. Knock, walk on inside. You're greeted at the front desk. Mr. Lyceum. The same tabaxi individual saunters over to you.
Expositor Shen, how are you doing today?
I am doing fantastic. What do I owe the pleasure?
Oh, we have a few things we're looking into. Information about trials, either relating to Vasselheim or
Whitestone.
Whitestone. Something of a formal event with something called trials. I hadn't ran into it. I thought maybe I'd see if there's anything in here in the books.
That is... Well, there are a couple of events that transpire in Vasselheim, of course. A couple that I am at least aware of. There is the Trial Forge itself, which is it is the holy temple of the Storm Lord out there. They have the Braving Grounds, which is a proving trial of gladiatorship amongst anybody who wishes to participate in this.
Are those held regularly?
All year long.
All year long.
Non-stop. There is also, if we're talking about trials, any laws that transpire here or are broken, there is usually a trial put on for the lawbreaker in particular.
Yeah, I didn't get the impression that it was a legal trial.
Then what type of impression
I got the
did you,
impression that it was more of like a competition. Maybe something that's not held. I don't know, it'd be something that was held a lot, like the gladiator trials.
Maybe something like that the Knowing Mistress would be part of? Or the Faith of the Knowing Mistress would be?
It's a good call.
And why exactly do you need this information?
There is a believer of such who has gone astray from his family, and they want him back. Not any harm, not any problem, and we just want to locate him. See if he wants to return to his family.
Give me a persuasion board.
Okay.
Doing pretty good with that tonight.
Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I hit the wrong button. That's perception.
Wrong P
Oh.
word.
Wrong P word. My bad. There, better. Honesty always works for me.
There's a clear discomfort with this conversation and the individual in front
That's
of
why I smile.
you. Yes.
It puts everybody at ease. It works.
Does it?
Mm-hmm.
Forge Rooms does, at least.
Lad, don't be uncomfortable.
Well, you see, I am in a predicament right now with this
I
question.
do see that.
On one hand, what you are doing is good work.
Yes.
Well deserving. And assisting to all of us in the long term.
True.
On the other hand, I am a keeper of knowledge with the responsibility of not letting it into the wrong hands.
Completely.
Your hands do not strike me as wrong, but they don't strike me as infallible.
Is anyone truly infallible?
Some.
Lad, I
met-
think I am more infallible than others. Trickable, possibly. But infallible? I'm hard to. I'm stubborn. You know, we are.
I am aware. There is no specific temple to the knowing mistress outside.
Right.
There's no open symbols of worship of
Right.
her. But there is a location you could look towards. On the tallest hill on the east range.
Of Vasselheim or here?
Vasselheim.
Yeah.
You will find the stairs that lead you to your path. I'm sorry, but I am forbade from giving you more information than
That's-
this.
I think that's plenty, and thank you. One more question. Semi-related, kind of unrelated.
Yes.
Is there a teleportation circle that we could use in Uthadurn at all?
Well, and I guess as an action to that, and to get to Vasselheim quicker, I can provide the magic. What I don't have is the coordinates.
There is no teleportation circles in all of Vasselheim.
Mm.
They barred arcane magic practices of that caliber after the Calamity and
I vaguely remember that now.
Yes. However, if you need to get to a different location, I have the knowledge of where I can send you, but without the proper permissions, I cannot give you coordinates. I can just simply
Then
assure you that you will get there. Is there a different location you wish to go?
There really isn't anything else closer to Vasselheim, is there?
Not to Vasselheim,
Other than
no.
the one I
But if
already
you
know.
need Iman,
Right.
yeah, but if you're looking to go someplace else, this individual might be able to
So
send
he
you.
could might theoretically. What about Whitestone?
That I can do.
oh,
But you are going to have to be very nice when you arrive.
we are. I'm always very nice.
And proper. Actually, he looks at Corvus. You should do all the talking.
I've always said that, and no one else has backed me on it.
I am suggesting that I am putting my foot down. If I send you all out there, he has to do all the talking for you.
You need a noble's tongue? Is that what you're saying here?
Yes. Yes, that is true.
All I think of is he's the only one who spent the whole week in the brawling pits. All right.
His bruises are mostly
Yeah.
healed, you know? Like,
But he's a heck of a whistler. And, that goes a long way with nobles, I think. Argon has no idea.
It's fine by me.
Yeah, I certainly have no concerns about that.
Corvus, are you okay with
Zen.
doing the talking?
I can lead.
Alright. Zen, I would also ask that you give us a generous donation for the service of teleporting you, of course. It helps to fund the library and other finds out there in the world that you all are taking advantage of right now as we speak, as you should be. But it does go towards our research and the individuals to be able to aspire to this life. Style.
Completely understandable.
Fair enough.
He will hold out a coffer.
Oh, right now. Got it.
Well, I mean, I need to go get the components, and then I need to find the actual mage who will be able to send you there, and I have to go through the entire structure. It's easier to get it out of the way.
Because we have to gather up some more people first.
Well, whenever you are ready, you come back to me, and we'll be able to send
I
you.
empty my pouch of 14 gold pieces.
I think he meant a little bit more than that, Fordrum.
Oh, well.
I understand there are limitations to individuals. He hands you back 4. Keep that for yourself.
I look over at Corvus. You got the loot, so.
Let the noble handle this. So what? You know money, Corvus.
Let me see. I haven't been to the party in a while. So. Oh wow!
Yeah, the party has loot.
Yeah, we just got paid a decent amount, so
Yeah.
So how
We
much
got
did he
paid.
say again?
he didn't say an amount.
Well, no, he said a generous donation, and Corvus's 14, the individual felt like he needed 4 coin back. So that should tell you.
100
Let me
ahead.
do some math here.
500
Give him
gold.
150 gold just to see, just to test the waters.
Thank you very much. That is a very generous donation, sir.
I don't think we let him do that, not me.
Here's 1,000.
That's exactly the amount I was
this
thinking.
goes to research?
Yeah.
Great.
How much
I was-
can I give you?
I was thinking 100 ahead. Like, hey, there's 5 of us. Here's 500 gold.
Can I help you build a whole new facility just somewhere else in the world?
I think it's time for a Lyceum wing and a Cobalt Soul.
Let me sponsor.
I was worried. I was overshooting.
Thank you for being the frugal noble there. You saved the party a lot of gold.
Yeah, because I would have paid 500 as well.
I
Yeah,
think the purse
that-
stays with me.
I definitely wouldn't give it to Argon at this point.
Well, then, I look forward to seeing you all later this evening or tomorrow. I will be here regardless, ready for you within the next hour up until tomorrow afternoon. Okay?
I thank
will-
you for your time. You've been as knowledgeable and helpful as ever. You're a I can't think of the word for it.
Gentleman and a scholar.
Yeah, I was thinking that he's a good example
One of those
of
is true. I am a scholar.
Yes,
you're
very
a
much.
testament to your order.
Donka. And you all get to leave to gather up the other cats we are trying to herd here. And when we come back next week, Onel will have a full translation of the important aspects of the notes that he's able to transcribe through. Sinclair can tell all of you what he found out about the individual, or the conversation, or what he didn't find out about the individual. And all of you get to go, hey, we're going to Whitestone. And when we get back next week, we can finally have a group going to Whitestone. I'm so excited. Tal'Dorei is my favorite continent in this entire fucking setting. It's fantastic. But players, thank you all very much for playing. Viewers, thank you for watching. Hope you all had a fantastic time. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and we will see you next time. Goodbye.